Hey everyone, time to learn how to play the trading card game. As you can see, I have my deck in the deck card zone. Most starter decks will come with this mat, but you don't necessarily need one. It does tell you some various nice things about the card game. So let's cover the basic rules. At the beginning of the game, you draw 7 cards. I'm going to show you these cards just so you can see. Alright, next you check your hand for basic Pokemon. You need at least one in your hand. I'm going to choose Wurmple for this one. You would place it face down on the field. Now if you have any extra basic Pokemon, like this Lotad, you can place it on your bench. Since I don't have any other basic Pokemon, the next step will be to put 6 prizes without looking in the prize card zone, which is over here. Now, the first turn you would flip a coin to see who goes first. For the sake of this, we'll say I'm going first. Both trainers would flip up all their active and bench Pokemon. Now there's a couple of things you can do during your turn. The first being, once per turn, you can attach 1 energy to a Pokemon. So in this case, you would put it on a Wurmple. This is signified by putting it behind the Pokemon card. Now on my first turn, I would probably use the attack Ram. Ram would do 10 damage to my opponent, and this would be signified by damage counters. There's damage counters that come with the set, but you can use dimes or something if you want to put it on the cards. Now, my opponent would probably also take a turn, and then during my second turn, I draw a card. You don't draw on the first turn other than the 7 cards you have in your hand. Now, things you can do on your second turn. You can play a trainer card, like this switch card, which would let me switch Wurmple for Lotad. You can also do this by paying the retreat cost. To demonstrate, let me put a grass energy on Lotad, like I would in the turn, and I can send this to the discard pile to switch Wurmple back. The reason I can do this is because of the retreat cost right here. Since it says 1 colorless energy, I can discard 1 type of energy from Lotad to retreat it to my bench. Another thing you can do is evolve a Pokemon. If you have a stage 1 evolution of a basic Pokemon, you can overlay it. Now once you overlay a Pokemon like this, it's called evolving. You can't use the moves of the previous Pokemon, but you do get the new moves, and sometimes this can be hard because you'll also have a new retreat cost. Usually stronger Pokemon have stronger moves, but sometimes strategically it's sound to hold back. Another thing you can do is play a supporter card. Supporter cards stay on the field until the end of your turn. This one states that I draw the top 5 cards of my deck. My opponent picks 2 of them to go to the bottom of my deck. And then the other 3 would go into my hand. Now, since I played that, I can also play a Dusk Ball, which will let me search the bottom 7 cards of my deck. Take 1 Pokemon there, put it in my hand. Very handy. The last thing you do in your move for your turn is always attack. Once you've attacked, that ends your turn. You can attack as long as you have the energy requirements allowed to do so. For, let's say, Silcoon's Sticky String, You could only do it if you have a grass energy and an energy of any type. Now, if I did have that, I could flip a coin to cause a status element on an opposing Pokemon. I'll cover those in another video. It would also do 20 damage, signified by the black number here. But since Suicune only has one energy attached, I'll use its other move. If it has a clear bubble next to it, that means that there is no energy requirement and you can do it with 0 energy. Ascension states that I can search my deck for a Pokemon that evolves from Suicune and place it on top of Suicune, essentially evolving it. Let's do just that. Of course, once you move, that ends your turn. Anytime you knock out your opponent's Pokemon, that is, reduce its HP to 0, you get to collect one of your prize cards. You can win the game by knocking out all your opponent's Pokemon, collecting all your prize cards, or causing your opponent to deck out. That is, on their turn when they have to draw a card, not having any cards to draw. Well, that wraps up the basic tutorial. I'll start with the advanced tutorial next.